Hey folks, this is the Thrifty Gamer 83 here, just bringing you my response to Capcom's question to the gaming community about how we want Resident Evil 2. My response is that I want limited ammunition, limited saves, a tense and disturbing atmosphere, and keeping true to the traditions which have made Resident Evil one of the most popular survival horror franchises. And yet, it just appears that Capcom is asking about brand identity, how they should make the sequel, what the sequel should be. How about just classic Resident Evil? How about just Umbrella Incorporated? How about instead of making these little action adventure shooter titles, you actually put one foot in front of the other and go along with the classic gameplay? For me, if anything, this is a deal breaker. If they make it so that you're overpowering towards the zombies, if they make it so that you don't have to strategically think your way out of the situation, a lot of what Resident Evil has become lately has just fallen by the wayside, and people just continually purchase it because it is from Capcom. And while it may be a good seller, it doesn't really have the old school flair. Instead, it reads more like a comic book. It plays more like a comic book. From Chris being able on the PlayStation 3 just to EXO, 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 X! Yeah, that's where it kind of jumped the shark, where it nuked the fridge and became unbelievable. It was unbelievably bad. And it's just something we have to really ask Capcom to move away from. For me, it was ridiculous that Resident Evil had devolved from survival horror into these little, I don't know, chapter and verse action adventure game, and people just lapped it up because they thought it would be classic Capcom. They thought it would be like Resident Evil 4. Unfortunately, no, it's not like Resident Evil 4. Unfortunately, it is just awkward and terrible. Resident Evil 5 and 6 have been some of the worst playing experiences. They say survival horror, but let's be honest, it's basically like a comic book chapter and verse form. I'd love if they got back to the original motivations of Resident Evil 2. I would simply love that. That is something that every gamer would be excited for. Limited ammunition, limited save files. Yeah, it makes you think before you take that shot, before you save the game. What else do you have to do? You have to ponder. You have to wonder, should I carry this and drop it into the inventory bank instead of being restricted as you are in Resident Evil 5 and 6. Really, Capcom has to return to the roots. The fan-made remake looks awesome. It holds true to the formula. Will Capcom listen? Probably not. As a matter of fact, they're asking about brand recognition and stating they own it via Facebook, which I will link to in the description, which is just, to me, it is verbal diarrhea. They are going to kill the fan remake. That you can look forward to, unfortunately. They will kill the fan remake, and what they will also do is probably wait for the development year and cycle until they can pull off different team members for Resident Evil 2. My feeling is that people will ask for more of the same of Resident Evil 4 and 5, and it won't be a true Resident Evil 2. People are already on the Facebook page arguing about low ammunition and saying it shouldn't be in there. You should be overpowering. You should be able to gun zerk, as in Borderlands 2. Yes, I'm just being sarcastic there. Some have said they are not trying to mess with the original formula too much, but let's be honest, folks. I'm 32 years old, so of course I played the original, but some of the folks who maybe in their 20s, early 20s, teens, just want something like the standard formula which Capcom is delivering. And no, they shouldn't do that. It should be like the original Resident Evil 2. If it's not, to me personally, it will suck. And it will be a punch to the gut of every gamer. Rant, rave, love, hate. Click that subscribe button, folks. You're keeping my show on the air. Have a good one.